What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Old Flying Brian's Garage. Got something to go pick up today, and new project for the channel. It's been a while since I had a new project, so looking forward to it. Let's see what we got, and we'll get it loaded up and get it on back to the shop and start working on it. Alright, well, we're out here. Finally got to it. Got a old Murray that's been sitting in the woods for a pretty long time. How long did you say it's been sitting in the woods?
They said it was sitting about 5 years.
5 years, okay. Well,
it was just sitting out in the backyard next to a lake.
Ah, yep, that explains all the rust and everything, but hey, good project, you know. We'll take this back to the shop, see what we can do.
That money it fires up after you clean the carburetor and put a battery in it.
All the projects that Shaggy's got out here. Y'all can go check him out on YouTube at Shaggy Small Engines.
Wonderland Nectarine Ale. I ain't even cleaned this. It got here, and that's it. That's where it's at.
Somebody was a drinker.
Yeah, and I don't think it was the people I got it from.
Darn, drinking and driving a lawnmower.
Yeah, I got to get some more videos posted on my shit too. I ain't posting in a while.
That's all good, you know.
I mean, when you're this busy, you know, y'all can sue me if you want, but when you're this busy,
he's got quite a bit going on out here.
To slow down and make videos when I'm this busy.
Mowers and mowers on mowers on mowers on mowers.
And 90% of them run.
Well, hey, you know, come buy a mower from Shaggy if you need one. Get in touch with him on Shaggy Small Engines on YouTube.
That's it.
He's got them mowers. Got them good mowers. Everything runs good. First pull type of stuff. Well, alright, we're going to get this up on the trailer, get it back to the shop, and then probably tomorrow we will get to this thing and see if we can actually get this thing to run. Alright, we got this thing loaded up. Got a deck here. Going to get this thing back to the shop and tomorrow get this thing off the trailer, inspect it, and see what we're working with. So far, so good. You think it'll run? Leave a comment down in the comments. Alright, guys, it's the next day. Let's take a look at this thing and see what we're working with. So we have a Murray 17 horsepower. Was a 42-inch cut. The deck is actually over there, but I probably will not be using the deck for anything but some scrap metal and some pulleys and brackets and so forth. Looks like the tires held air overnight, so I mean that's good. I'm happy with that. It's a little worn out. It's been sitting. It said 5 years. So I'm wondering if the key switch is going to work, stuff like that. It's pretty old. I'm not sure exactly what year. I'm sure I can find out. Let's see what this tells us. It is a 2015. Okay. So that's a 2015, and that means it's how many years old? Did they make this body style in 15? I feel like this is like a 05. Look at the engine. Honestly, I think it is a 15. I'll have to look it up and see, but This is the engine we're working with. A 17 horsepower overhead valve, high performance, industrial commercial. I am probably going to keep this engine. I like the looks of this one, and I love a Briggs. A good Briggs is hard to find. People usually wear them all out, so we will be keeping this one. This one has a cast iron sleeve in the block, which I do like. Look at that big old bulky muffler. Dadgum, that thing is huge. Okay, we got a spark plug wire disconnected, but we have the spark plug there, so that's good. Don't look like it had any leaks or anything. Looks like they probably just parked it up. Good thing is we've had a solenoid replacement. That is not the original solenoid. Looks like the wiring's still pretty good. The key switch might work. Maybe the charging system on this thing works. I think this is the stock engine. So this thing I don't think's been altered or molested in any way. You know, a lot of people nowadays, you can buy an old used mower, get a used mower, and the parts can be different because people will kind of take what they got and good parts off of bad ones and put them all on one unit and sell it. So it makes it a little hard to find an unmolested older unit, but this one seems to be, which is a good thing. I actually kind of like it. I just don't like these dash setups on these. They are very flimsy and they break. It's got the chart for the tractor parts and all the part numbers for everything, which is pretty cool. This thing will actually clean up pretty good, I do believe. Give it a little patina look. Probably leave the rust patches and just kind of clean everything up. All that good stuff. But today, all we're going to focus on is getting this thing running. So, let's see what we can do. I'm sure it probably needs carb clean. I'd say probably a good carb clean. Go through the, you know, maybe check the spark plug real quick. The gas tank is cracked at the top, so I don't think we're going to be able to get away with this tank. You can see that crack right through there, so I'm not even sure it'll hold. I don't know if that's the only crack or what, and it's pretty dirty. I might have to suspend the tank and see if I can get it to run. Let's check the oil in it real quick, see what that looks like. You know, it's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. I think that'll work. It's not full either, so I'm going to have to add a little bit to it. But what do you guys think? Think she's gonna run, or you think she's gonna be a POS? Let me know. I personally think it's going to run. There's not many engines that I can't get to show some sort of life unless this completely just seizes the hell up. But as you see, this one is not. So actually, let's do this real quick. Let's put the clutch in and do that, so we'll have the belt off of it and then spin it over. Oh yeah, it's got compression. That grinding sound is stuff right around in here. So, but it's got good compression and it spins over. So I think it's a good candidate. I guess we're just gonna have to start digging into it and see. Alright, I had to go mow the yard and all that good shit, but back on it now. It is nighttime, but we got light. First things first is I went ahead and swapped the seat with the one on the workhorse here because I needed a better seat. It does have extra padding in it, so that's why it looks like that. But I'll probably redo that, honestly. But for now it looks good. This junky old thing, I want to see what rear end's in it. I know it's 5-speed. No, it's a 6-speed. It's a 6-speed. Ooh, I didn't know that. That makes me happy. Because the other one was a 6-speed. So, I gotta get this seat put on. But, let's see here. As we saw last night at Shaggy's, we have a drinker. Like to drink. And then we have Power Blend Gold. Same stuff I use. We'll get this out of here and cleaned up. Clean. Oh, damn it. It's not clean. I've seen all kinds of spiders on this damn thing, and they don't look like the type that'll just bite you and get away with it. They look like the poisonous type, so I'm trying to stay the hell away from them. That pulley looks like junk, but everything else looks pretty good. I mean, maybe the pulley will hold just to test it. I don't know. Will it run and ride? I think it'll run. I hope it'll ride. We're gonna test it though, for sure. Just got a positive or negative there, so we can drop our box back in here. Come on. It's hard to do this one-handed. That in there. Yep. Alright, now we can get our battery that we use on everything else in there as well. we'll get this battery hooked up right quick. I've got these on wing nuts to make it a little easier for me, because I switched this in a lot. Dadgummit. I'm gonna cooperate. Come on. Get on there. Pretty tight. Come over here. We will connect our positive and see if it burns to the ground. If this thing is going to be long enough, this positive really short. Really short. Well, I mean, it's not burning yet. It's a good sign. Yeah, it's not burning yet. Okay, let me get this hooked up and then I'll get back on it. Alright, we got the battery hooked up and, well, it hasn't burned to the ground yet. So, that's a good thing. Drop our seat back down. I'm going to use an index key, which is what this ignition calls for. I'm going to actually see if the key turns this over. Oop. I hear a really strong solenoid in there, so that's good. I think what I'll do is I'll pull this panel off real quick. Dang, those are in there with the force. I don't know what. Dang. And now they're kind of rust welded in there. This thing was sitting by a lake in the woods for 5 years. Alright, finally got it broke loose. Took forever. But here it is. And there it is. So I need to check our solenoid there. I can tell it has been replaced. Maybe they hooked it up wrong. I'm not sure. I mean, it's not hard to hook a solenoid up, but it could also be a ground issue. This is kind of rusty. It sounds strong to the solenoid, but it's not. It could also be the starter. So we need to check those couple things and see what we find. Alright, before we do that, let's go ahead and crack open our air box. See what we're looking like in here. It's pretty dirty, but not too bad. I'll just clean that out. I'll set that to the side. Here's our air filter. It's not looking the best. It looks like the filter's okay, just the crap around it needs to come off. So we can clean that up. This carburetor don't look too bad, but I know that that's just, you know, that's just the surface. we don't know what it looks like in there. Maybe I can get it to run with this one. I don't know. I probably will try. We will see. But first things first. Let's get this thing to turn over with the key. Probably need to get some lube up in that cylinder, in all honesty, because I don't want to ruin this engine. This is going to be a good one. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this plate off because it needs to come off. I need to see inside the carb. I'll probably drop this line off of it, and then we'll pull the plug and get some lube up in the cylinder. Lube the cylinder walls. And then check and make sure the starter's not bound up. Alright, time to pull the base off. That looks pretty nasty. I'm gonna clean that up and the part's clean. Get it nice and clean looking. I cleaned the top part, and you see the inside's fairly better than it was. Also got the air filter, you know, cleaned up, blowed out, all that good stuff. So it's actually in pretty good shape. Must have been replaced right before it was parked. And the outer surface just wore off. Carburetor looks to be okay. We got a stuck choke and we got a stuck throttle. It's great. So this is gonna be fun. I can immediately tell you it's not gonna run until I rebuild the carburetor. So, in this episode, we will be rebuilding a carburetor. And I don't know if it's a Nicky or not, so I need to find that out. Hope it's just a Briggs. It looks like a Nicky. Damn it, it is. I hate these. I hate these with a passion. But it is. So, got to do something with that thing. So stay tuned for a carburetor rebuild. Dadgum, that's in there. I don't use these. These get gone quick. So we'll actually drag that over and snip that out. Ooh, will we? Will we, Brian? Yeah, okay. There it is. It is the gray. Gone. Just like that. Don't need it. Get out of here. That actually means that that jumper's, cut that out of there because that was the cable. This jumper's to another, so that means I can cut that jumper out. Don't need it. This is how you simplify your wiring. Comes with too many sensors and shit. Alright, get out of here. Simplified. See, they're not connected anymore. You don't need those sensors on the carburetors unless you want it to shut off when it's on a hill. But all it does is detect that the float or the bowl's not filling up right, or it's not, you know, at a certain thing, and it'll actually shut the carburetor off. And I don't like those, especially for what I do. So it comes out of there. All you got to do at that point is take and drop the screw out of the bottom, and there's a plunger that you just snip off, and you're good to go. But now that we got all that off, I'm going to put this aside. Probably just put it right here in the van. We're going to take and clean this up real quick. But before I do that, I'm going to remove my gasket and just wipe it down. Because I do not want to put this gasket in any kind of anything. Because then that just completely ruins the chance of me being able to use it again. It will swell and come apart every time. That thing a little cleaned up. There we go. Reuse that guy. And yeah, we'll get this base cleaned up nice and good. I'm going to go ahead and pop this cover off for the starter and look at it, see what it's looking like. If it's not bound up, I'm going to see if it's stuck. If it's like froze up, I'm probably going to have to take the starter off, take it apart, clean it up real good, do the rebuild on it, and slap it back together. And then we're going to have to do a carb rebuild for sure. So let's get this cover off and see what the starter is going to tell me real quick. Well, I got the starter plate here off, and it is frozen solid. So we're going to have to pull this starter and take it apart, clean it up, put it back together. Hopefully the magnets are still stuck in there, because if not, or they're busted, we have a problem. Need to use this starter, so we're gonna have to take this off. So let's go ahead and get it removed. Then we'll go over and get the carburetor removed, and then we can let the carburetor soak overnight and clean the starter up as well. I'm going to take a quick second and pause the video and ask y'all to help me with something. I need y'all to do me a favor. Go down and hit that subscribe button. Smash it. Smash that bell. Go like the videos. You know, tell me where you're from. Say hi. Whatever. Ask me questions. It doesn't matter. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs. And I cannot do that without your guys' help. So definitely go subscribe, check out Facebook, the Instagram, the Snapchat, and now we have a TikTok. You can just go type in Flying Brown's Garage and you will find me. All the profile pictures are the same. It's easy to find. And yeah, give me some likes, give me some subscribes, and all that good stuff. I'm trying to build this, and I can't build it without everybody's help. So, hope you guys are enjoying the videos. You know, got a lot of good videos coming, constantly coming, and I'm constantly sourcing new projects. So, stay tuned, and with that being said, let's get back to the video. Alright, we have our starter pulled, and it is for sure seized. So we're going to do something with that. But that engine turns pretty free. Honestly, I think them cylinders probably, I don't feel a ring ridge. This engine spins good, just not with the key. Okay. We'll get the starter up here. Let's take it over here, put it on the bench, so I can work on it. Set it up there for now. Get wire wheels out. All that mess. Let's get over here. Let's pull this carburetor, which looks horrible. Then we can get it up on the bench, look at it really good, and see what we're actually looking at. Because that thing is caked and ugh, it's bad. I hope it's savable. Well, this will show you how caked it is. It didn't want to break free there for a moment. Let's get that choke lever, choke rod out. Let's go for the throttle cable. It goes to the governor and the spring, and there we go. Got a carburetor off. It is a garbage Nicky, of course. So we will do everything we can not to throw this in the garbage. It's a plastic intake, yeah, I thought so. I like the plastic ones better. The aluminum ones tend to crack very easily. Ooh, look at all that sludge. I need to come in here and clean that up. It definitely smells old. Yeah, varnish. Very much varnish. So we need to clean this thing up really good, soak it overnight, and then go from there. Alright, we've got our bottom plate cleaned up, best I'm gonna get it. We got our carburetor completely disassembled and put in the bucket. We're gonna let it soak overnight. The only thing that snapped was the choke arm. I can always salvage one out of the shop. I'll let this soak. We will have to cut a gasket when we go to put everything back together, of course. No big deal. I knew I was going to have to cut a gasket anyway. But we have the old one right here to template off of. so we'll use that. This is the bowl gasket and choke arm. I'll put this in here as well, just to have it for tomorrow. Put our parts cleaner up there so we know we got stuff in it. Now we will start to disassemble our starter. See what in the heck is wrong with it. Clean it up. And ooh, it's a metal gear, not a plastic one. No, it's plastic, just painted. Okay. Regardless, we'll get this cleaned up, get it taken apart, get it working again, put it back on the tractor tomorrow, rebuild the carburetor, all that good stuff. But so far, let's get this apart and see what's wrong with it. Alright, well, we went ahead and disassembled our starter. And now it spins free. So Bendix is working and all that good stuff, so I'm comfortable with that. We will install this tomorrow when we get the carburetor. I'll probably let the carburetor soak a little more tomorrow and take care of the starter first thing, get it done, get that engine spinning over, and then we can address other issues. So, see you guys in the morning. Alright guys, it is the very next day. The rig is still where we left it last night. Unfortunately nobody stole it, so we still have to work on it. So we have our starter has been freed up, and our carburetor has been soaking all night in our parts cleaner. I have pulled it out and I'm kind of letting everything drain. Looks fairly clean, so hopefully it is what we were looking for and we can throw it back together and have a good functioning carburetor for this build, or this revival. I'm so used to doing builds, I'm not used to doing revivals. So, but it's good to do one. I mean, it's not very often that I get a old revival that's been sitting that I can, you know, revive. I think the last one I did was the Ford tractor, the 1100. If you haven't seen that video, I'll probably tag it at the end. What do you see the couple videos and the subscribe thingy, which y'all should hit, because I don't know why you ain't done that yet. But yeah, the Ford tractor, that was the last revival that we did, so y'all go check that one out. It was actually owned by someone else. My wife got me the job, and I just went over there and took care of it real quick, got it running, all that good stuff. So let's get the starter installed back on here since it's freed up. Confirm that our engine will spin over freely. Let's also pull the plug before we do that and check, see what it looks like. Then what we'll do is go ahead and rebuild our carburetor, put it back on. We got a gasket to cut for the intake and all that good stuff, but no big deal. We'll get all that done, and then we will see if this thing will run. So let's get to it. Alright, here's our starter that we took off last night and cleaned up. It cleaned up really well. It actually looks fairly new, which is surprising. But the engine will probably clean up very nice too. It's Hood saved it, a lot of it, and all the crap that was on it, to be honest with you. But we have a nice free spinning starter, so I'm sure this is a working starter. We can check it real quick before we install it, which I probably will do off of the battery. Just grab a set of jumper cables, ground and positive, and it should engage the starter and engage the Bendix for the gear to rise up. So let's get this down there to the battery, check it real quick, make sure it's going to operate properly. Then we'll go ahead and install it on the engine and see if the engine is going to spin over with the key. Alright, we have our starter here hooked up to the ground. We have our jumper cables hooked up to the battery. We're going to kick this real quick. Just touch the positive here, and we're going to see if the starter will engage. Yep. Although that was in the way, but let's get that out the way. Let's hit it again. Probably have to lube this assembly up just a little bit, but let's confirm. Oh, it's disengaging now. Alright, we have a working starter. If you ever want to test a starter, that's how you can do it, especially one of these simple starters that have no solenoid installed on the side of them, like vehicle starter would. But these starters are very simple. You can just ground out to the metal here and then hit your positive and see if it's spinning. But I suggest to spin it over by hand first to make sure it's free, because you don't want to mess anything up by trying to jam it loose. That's not going to work. If it's stuck, you're going to need to take it apart, or at least take the bottom plate off, put some lubricant in there, spin it over by hand, and then you can put everything back together once it's free, and it'll spin. Now, if you're wanting to take it apart, I will give y'all a little quick tip. Let's turn the camera around here. I'll show you. When you pull this plate off on the bottom, right, you have magnets. Excuse me. You have magnets in there's like a plastic housing that attaches to your positive hookup here, and it goes all the way around on the inside, and it's got magnets in it, 1, 1, 1, and 1. And when you drop the starter out, they tend to just pop all in every direction, whatever they want to do. If you'll find a socket, a deep well socket that is the exact diameter as that plastic, and slowly slide your top end out and guide that socket in there, the socket will hold the magnets in place, and then you won't have to worry about them dropping out and having to feed them back in and put it all back together, because that makes it a pain in the ass. If you'll do it like I said and slide that socket through, it don't have to be a socket, it could be just something round that'll hold them in place, and leave it there in your housing. When you go to slide it all back in, you just reverse the process, and you don't ever lose your spot, and it ain't a huge pain in the ass to take the starter apart. So, with that little tip being said, let's get in here, get the area cleaned up a little bit, install this starter, and hook everything up and confirm that this engine will turn over with the key and with the starter. So let's get it done. Alright, we got our surface cleaned, got our starter installed. Everything has been wiring tightened and reinstalled. Got a battery hooked up. So we just pulled our spark plug, and it looks like this thing may be an oil burner, and that could be the valves giving a problem. But if it's an oil burner, then that means more than likely the cylinder's already lubed. So I am going to reuse this plug. Probably go ahead and clean it up real quick and get it set to the side for reinstallment. But I think what we're going to do real quick is check the compression. We're going to put a compression tester on this thing. Make sure this thing kicks over. Get a readout. Actually, you know what? Let's just kick it over real quick and see if it spins. Yep. Get the crap coming out of the exhaust. Well, it spins freely, so that's a good thing. So now we just need to put a compression tester to it, clean this spark plug, and then come back out here and spin it over again and see what it tells us. Alright, we have our plug cleaned, regapped. I'm going to set this to the side. We're going to go ahead and throw a compression tester on this engine, spin it over with the compression tester on it, see what it's going to tell us. Alright, we have our compression tester hooked into our spark plug hole, going straight into the cylinder. Let's go ahead and see what kind of compression we're getting out of this engine. Healthy. About 110, 115. That's where it should be. I think this thing's dying, unfortunately. So I'll try to kick it over again. Yeah, battery's weakened up on me. I'll probably have to turn the van around and get some jumper cables to it, and then try this again. Alright, we lifted the rear up off the ground to test the trams and make sure it don't take off on us. Got the van turned around and got the jumper cables hooked up, so we're going to let this thing sit here and charge up for a few minutes, and then we'll try to kick it over again, get another reading on the compression test, get a spark plug back in it, check to see if we have spark, and then we'll move on to putting our carburetor back together, and then hopefully hearing this thing run. Alright, this thing's charged for a few minutes. Let's get another reading. I gotta get my keys. Yeah, let's get another reading real quick on the compression tester. See what it's going to tell us. Oh, wow. That's good compression. Damn. That's like 130. Actually, that's 135. That's 135 PSI this thing's pushing out. That's strong. I don't think any of my engines are this strong. this thing really is high performance. Wow. Okay, well, let's get the compression tester out of here, the spark plug back in it, get the spark tester on it, and see if we have spark coming out of the coil. And if we do, we can go ahead and do our carburetor and hear this thing run. Alright, we have our spark plug installed and our spark tester in place. Let's see if we have spark. We have spark. That's spark. Good deal. Alright, all we have to do is get our carburetor put back together and reinstall, and we should be able to hear this thing run. Alright, we finally got our carburetor reassembled. I had to put a new choke in there. I went ahead and put the new fin in too. But everything's working good. All the ports are cleaned out. We got a new gasket cut as well, so let's go ahead and reinstall our carburetor and see if this thing will run. Alright, I got the jets cleaned out a little better and the carburetor's back on. I got the fuel hooked up to it. So far no leaks, so that's good. I don't think it's filling up the inside. So, this thing got a little too late to fire it up tonight and ride it like I wanted to do, so we're going to have to make this a 3-day endeavor, and unfortunately I wanted to do it in one, but just didn't work out that way. But we'll get back out here tomorrow first thing and fire this thing up, see how good it runs. If it's good enough to pull the rear end with it sitting up like it is, we'll actually drop it down and we'll take it out here and go for a little ride through the yard, see what it'll do. And if it's strong enough, maybe we'll use it to pull the lawnmower up here so we can swap out a carburetor on that real quick, so I can actually get back to mowing my yard and get it done, because got a lot to cover. So see you guys tomorrow. Alright, we are back out here again, and it is day 3 on this unit, on this revival. I got the carburetor hooked back up last night. Everything's been put back together. We're going to kick this thing over this morning and see what we got. See if it'll fire. Come on. It wants to run. Probably gonna do a valve adjustment on this thing. This is crazy. just can't, don't want to stay running. Probably gonna have to hook the van back up to it. Yeah, this is getting annoying. Got it running, but the carb is starting to be bad. Fucking So we've actually got this thing running pretty good, except for the backfiring, which I do believe is a valve timing issue. We'll get to that later. First things first, I want to see if this thing will ride out. I also want to get that seat mounted to it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and move out the old work rig, get the van out the way, and then we'll come in here and put a seat on this thing real quick, and then we'll take it around the yard a few times and see how this thing rides, see if all the gears work, see if brakes work, all that good stuff, and then we can assess what we're going to do to it from there. So let's get that done and get a seat put on this thing. So we got a new seat on the work rig. I actually took the one off of the Murray there, added some padding inside of it on top of what was there, and it is really comfortable. So I have a good seat for this instead of that crappy one. So let's fire this thing up for the day, get it moved. Doing her ticking again today. I don't know why it does that. Yeah, she's awfully ticky today. I don't like that. One of these days I gotta fix that ticking shit. I don't know what's up with that, but one of these days we'll fix it. But let's get the van moved out of the way, and then we can mount a seat to our new crap box. Sometimes things want to work properly, and sometimes things want to just be weird. Like the way the van just started. I don't understand it. Oil pressure still sucks, so, you know, what's new? Alright, I got some room now. Let's get this seat up here, figure out where our holes need to be drilled, because they're a different mounting style. We'll drill our holes and then get our seat put in place, and then we can take this thing for a spin and see what it does. Alright guys, we have our seat mounted to the platform. I had to drill me a couple holes. Also remove the seat switch and connected those wires with the butt connector, so I don't have to worry about that sensor anymore. We found out that our rear end, I'm going to have to take y'all off the platform. Is an MST 206. So now we've got two of them, and that's a good thing. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Let's see if this thing rides. I'm ready to see. Alright, well, unfortunately the camera screen has come loose from the camera again, which I'll have to retighten. I might end up putting some kind of a Loctite on the threads and just send them. I know they're small screws, but damn, they just keep coming loose. And it's annoying for both me and y'all, so just bear with me on this. Let's see. Get something to cover my ass from that wet seat. What did we do with our keys? They're right here. Let's go ride this thing. What? Got another problem somewhere because it's not letting it go forward, but it'll let it go in reverse. There's a sensor somewhere or something that's just keeping it from going. You know what? Kind of surprised they do. But I'm gonna unplug them. Get the wiring harness out of the way. So it doesn't completely melt. Everything's so close together in this engine. I mean, it's just packed. We've got a sensor somewhere. What's that running to? A sensor. I hate these damn things. I'm gonna bypass this. Somehow, some way. I'm gonna bypass it. Ow. That didn't feel good. That was my arm. And that hurts like shit. Okay, well, whatever. So it's a 4-wire. You gotta figure out how to jump this together. I'll just do away with the wiring harness all in general. That's what I might do. I might come in here and start doing away with some shit real quick. It's gonna need it anyway. So I can go ahead and simplify this wiring system and make it to where it's just straight to the key, on and off. No safety, no nothing, just charging system. So let's do that real quick, and then we'll ride it, because it's giving us problems at the moment. Alright, we got all our wiring simplified. Cut out all the sensors. I took out this arm over here. Only thing I got left to pull out is the little bar here, but I gotta cut that out because I don't want to remove the body to do it. Headlights are still hooked up. Not hooked up, but I still got the wiring to them. I've still got the wiring to the engine for the charging system and everything, and the, coil, of course, or the magneto. But this thing should run now, and should ride. The wiring's hooked up in here. Probably gonna ride this thing a little bit and then wash it. So let's see what it does. Well. She runs a little rough, but it runs. Back from the dead. Sitting for 5 years in the woods by a lake, and now she runs again. A little rusty, a little dirty, but what do you expect from something that's sat? I say let's finish this video up. Let's get the pressure washer out. Take this thing over here. Wash this thing up really good. Get it looking nice. And then I think we can call it a good revival. I got a good engine. I got a good transaxle for another application. I think what these are going to be donated to is the engine is going to be donated to the John Deere mud mower. The transaxle is going to be donated to the build, the General E build, because it needs a good 6-speed transaxle, so we'll be working on it. This will be returning. I will probably put the engine from the John Deere mud mower onto this, which is a Kohler, and then I will probably mate a transaxle in, probably some hydrostat, and probably turn it into a mud mower or pulling tractor for the yard or something. But I'd say it's a pretty decent little unit, and we'll get it back looking decent. So let's get the pressure washer out, pressure wash this thing up, clean it up real nice, and see what we really are working with. Got this thing pressure washed up best we can. You can look in there and tell a huge difference. Give y'all a little walk around real quick. We're going to get out some awesome spray bottle and a brush. And we're going to wash this thing, get it nice and clean. And then probably ride it just a little more. Alright, this thing has been washed thoroughly, and it turned out pretty nice. Got all inside the hood. I washed the engine all down in there. I mean, it's cleaned up to be a pretty decent looking unit. I don't really like patina builds, but I think this is a good candidate for one, and I probably will go that route since I'm trying to go cheapest route possible. Headlights even cleaned up pretty good. Get that front end. And it kind of fades to pink back here. I mean, it really turned out pretty decent. Wheels and tires cleaned up good. I mean, they're old, but they hold air. All up in the wiring area. The other side of the engine. Look how clean that came out. Yes. Even the exhaust cover came clean. Well, I'm gonna get this thing running, and then we'll make one last ride from here to up there to the shop. The automotive shop is where I'm gonna pull the engine and transaxle out of this. So let's do it. One last little ride for the Briggs on the Murray. Alright. Piece of shit cleaned up pretty good. Not bad at all. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. I enjoyed this little revival. I'm gonna get some good use out of those parts, and you know, the Murray will be back. It'll be powered by something different and driven by something different, but it will be back. Let me know down in the comments what you think I could do with it. If it's feasible with a hydrostat, because that's all I have to donate to it. But let me know what you think. Comment down below if you want to say something. Be sure to like the video, and definitely go check out some of the older videos, and stay tuned for the newer videos. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet. The button's there. Also hit that all notifications bell and all that good stuff. But till then, see you guys on the next episode.